Hi guys, Thogrey here with a new video. This video will be a race tier list video for patch 9.2.5 season 3 of Shadowlands, and it has been a requested video, so now I will make it. Yeah, I was not really planning to make this video, but a lot of subscribers actually asked for it, so I feel like why not give it to the subscribers that actually asked it. I don't know if I actually will make a lot of views on this video because I feel like races are really not that big of a deal. It is a big deal, but to be honest, if you play World of Warcraft, you can choose whatever race you want to play, as long as you are actually okay with the choice you made. If you want to be very competitive, of course, a lot of races give you a lot of advantages, and some races don't. But yeah, let's jump right in. I'm going to try to make it a fast video. Before we start, thank you for the many subscribers that actually watched my stream yesterday on YouTube. I'm going to stream on Twitch probably because I prefer the layout. I prefer everything from the Twitch like streaming version, I would say. So please go to the link below, try to follow the stream on Twitch, and then I will see you there, of course, 3 times a week. I will try to maybe go for 4 times a week because I really enjoy streaming, but I prefer to stream in front of a lot of subscribers. So if you want to go and come say hi, you are welcome. So thank you for watching. So let's go to the tier list right away. So we have S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier. S tier is God tier, A tier means meta, B tier it means it's average, C tier it means that it's actually underperforming, but it's you have some usefulness sometimes, and D tier it is garbage. Don't play it. If you want to be competitive, if you want to play for aesthetics, that's fine. It doesn't matter. So I'm only going to drag a female or male because I don't think it's like it's going to clutter a lot of the screen. So Blood Elf. Blood Elf is really underpowered. It is not garbage because you still have some usefulness because the purge, you can purge a bob with a lot of luck. I play Blood Elf. I don't know why. I want to switch those races up to, like, for example, a human or dwarf or tauren, like something that I feel like I'll have more usefulness in PvE or in PvP. So, um, I'm going to also state that the PvP tier list is for RBGs, BGs, arenas, world PvP too. So you can take it like you want. It's basically it's the same. Like a race that is actually good in arenas is going to be good in RBGs. So Iron Dwarf, it is very much S tier. You can purge out, of course, the bleeds, but also poisons, so you can actually really win versus feral druids because of it. A bit, you can also win versus assassination rogues, but often than not, you will be kidneyed. So the sepsis damage is going to be applied regardless. But if they messed up and like they are going to garrote you and then sepsis, you can purge it off because of it. You also get a damage boost from the purge, so it's a bit better than dwarf in my opinion. But yeah, I think it's god tier. It has a lot of utility. Draenei is for me D tier. I don't feel like the heal does anything for them, and there is nothing like really special to Draenei, so D tier. Dwarf, I feel like it's A tier. I'm going to give the separation because basically it does the same. It dispels everything, but it doesn't give a damage boost like, for example, Iron Dwarf. Like an Iron Dwarf can actually do more damage because of it. So you sometimes can see people just use the ratio to just do more damage. I won't do that, of course, but if you want to do that, you can do. So as a dwarf, you are a bit less good into like if you want to burst, but it has the same defensive properties, so it's quite nice. Gnomes. I think gnomes are actually average. They have the same purpose as dwarves because you can like dispel roots. Often those roots are magical, but as a gnome you can actually dispel yourself the survival root, trap root that they can actually put on you. So it can also save you. It's average. They need a buff or not. To be honest, I feel like every race should be in average because it doesn't need to actually give you a win because you just picked a race. So B tier should be the main tier for everyone, but it is not the case. But gnomes are actually very fun, and having an anti-root is always nice because you can use that whenever you are root beamed, for example. So, goblins. I feel like goblins are also average. They can leap, so it's a useful thing, especially versus like in arenas or in RPGs. So you can always run away. But is it worth it to take it just because of the rocket jump? Not really. Of course, if you like playing goblins, just play goblins because again, you want to have also the aesthetic. Yeah, I feel like if you want to play a goblin, I think it's also fun to have the choice of playing that race. High Mountain Tauren, I feel like it's average, but I'm going to put it in average because I feel like in arenas you don't really have a lot of value, but in RPGs, if you are going to run through someone and you push them out, or on some arenas you can push people off the ledges, which is actually super useful. But like sometimes you have arenas where you don't really need a push because it doesn't really matter if you're pushing or not. So that's why it's average. Basically, high mountain, you can take it without any risk, but you also won't have a lot of advantages, except like for example Eye of the Storm or Arati Basin. If you like to push people off and like troll people, I feel like you have a lot of fun with that race. Humans are S tier, of course, because a free stun break is always good. You can play like double power trinkets, I would say, where you're buffing yourself, or you can play with Relentless, so it's also a very good thing. It gives you more abilities to actually outperform the enemy team. You can also play double trinket, so you have a lot of possibilities to actually build your class however you want. So that's why humans are very good for that. So Cultirans, I feel like they are meta because they have a stun and some classes benefit from a stun. For example, Disc Priest, if they can stun you, they can just unleash their burst, or they can also just stun you and then fear you, which is also a very good thing. So it gives classes an extra CC. Is it really better than other classes? Not really, but the stun can really win you some games, so I feel like it deserves A tier for that. Light Forge is D tier. I'm not going to even discuss about it. Like the damage is meh, and I don't feel like you have a lot of value. Magar is underperforming. It has a cool ability which gives you a random secondary stat, which is alright, but is it that good? I don't feel like it's that good. Also, it's very random. Um, I feel like you're not really picking Magar orcs because of their racials. You pick it because of their appearance, and that racial, although very fun, it could be better. So that's why it's underperforming. And if they buff it, they might go in average. The same for Blood Elf. If they buff the CD, so if it instead of a 2 minute CD, it can be a 1 minute CD, and then it becomes very interesting. So you can put it in average, for example. But for now, it is underperforming. Um, Mikanar, I don't know much about them. I feel like I never really got caught because of the double from the Mekanar, Mecha Goblins, Gnomes, I mean, ratio. So for me, this garbage. Maybe in front of Dry Knight because it's a gnome, so it's quite cool. Night Elves, it is for sure S tier. It's one of the best, if not the best, race if you're playing druids, for example. Really, a Shadow Melt can save you. Also, rogues, you can have a restealth really easily because of it. It can give you a lot of possibilities. So that's why Shadow Melt is for sure an S tier racial ability. So that's why Night Elf is S tier. Um, those are Void Elf or Nightborn? That's a Nightborn. Nightborn is pretty much D tier. I don't think it has a lot of value. Nah. Probably I don't think like the ratio is not interesting. I think it's a damage and a snare or a root. I don't remember, but it's I've never got hit by that, so I feel like it is a subpar ratio. ability. So that's why it is D tier. Orcs probably also S tier because of the stun reduction. Always nice. A lot of classes benefit from that because they don't want to be stun locked. So instead of getting hit by a 7-second kidney, you will be hit for a 5-second CD stun kidney, which is still long, but it is shorter than a lot of classes. So that's good. Pandaren is definitely, um, I would say S tier because it gives you extra CC. Again, a lot of classes could benefit from CC. Um, it's very situational though. It depends on the class that you are playing. Not everyone wants to play a Pandaren, but that in cap can really save you the game or at least win you a game. So that's why it deserves the S tier. Do you want to play Pandaren? Pandaren, you can, but I won't really play Pandaren because I don't like the aesthetic. So, Tauren. For me, it is better than High Mountain, so that's why it's A tier. It gives you more HP, it gives you a stun. Some classes can benefit from that, and AoE stun is very nice. So for me, it's A tier. Also aesthetically, very nice to see, and yeah, I really like Tauren. I feel like it's also one of the best races for Paladin. So if you're playing Paladin Orc like Horde side, you would pick Tauren instead of any other possibilities. Trolls. Troll for me it is C tier. I feel like the haste buff is very nice, but it is on a very big CD, so I don't feel like you have a lot of utility playing troll. It can be fun. That's why it is underperforming and not garbage. So it just needs a buff, like for example a CD buff, like shoving a minute from the haste buff, or shoving like something, or giving more duration or more haste. So they can just do like a little buff and then it becomes average or even A tier, but for now it is just C tier because the CD is very long. So I don't feel like you have a lot of possibilities to reuse DCD in an arena match. I cannot even speak anymore. So that's why it's C tier. And undead. Um, it is A tier because I don't feel like it's S tier because not every comp has a fear, but it is A tier because at the moment with demonology being like such a dominant force that I really dislike, but it's a dominant force. You have also warriors which has a fear. You have a lot of holy priests that actually can fear you, so it has value. I would say it is probably the second best A tier um, race. So if you want to pick a undead, you can. You won't be really useless. You will be useful versus a lot of comps because a lot of comps are actually running with a holy priest. But if you can choose, I would say you can still go for orc, which I think a lot of damage is more lethal whenever you're stunned than whenever you're feared. So I feel like it has more value. But I guess if you like the aesthetics, but also you like the ratio, I would just pick undead for most of my classes too. So Void Elf, it is B tier. It has a nice gimmick, which is the Void Rift. Like the space, like the TP that you can do. So you can put it and then juke the enemy and then just TP. Or for example, in Mungambala, you're throwing it on the ledge, you're jumping, they're jumping towards you, and then you just TP back, which is quite nice because you can really brain a lot of people. It is a fun race. I don't think it's very meta, but it is a very fun race. That's why it deserves the average tier. Vulpera, it is D tier, man. I don't like the aesthetic because it's a bit of a fury, but also I don't think the actual racial helps you a lot. Maybe if you're playing Holy Priest, maybe the heal can do something, but I don't think it's very interesting to play, and it deserves the garbage tier. Worgen, it is a C tier. I don't think it's D tier. I feel like the movement speed buff is alright, but then again, they need just a buff somehow, some way. If it isn't a buff on the CD or the amount of time you are sprinted, um, yeah, they just need a buff, and then they get maybe B tier. They are very close to garbage. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like you still have some usefulness for some classes that need some speed and some stickiness. I feel like Worgen can give you that, but why would you pick Worgen instead of anything above them, for example? Um, Zandalari Troll. It's C tier, probably better than Worgen, probably better than Magar. I would say it's at the same level as the Haste Troll. For the reason is I only see them play Paladin, and whenever they're using their racial, it is because they are bubbling, so they don't use any mana, and they're bubbling and then using the heal on themselves. It's probably better in twos than in RBGs, for example, or in BGs, but yeah, in arenas, in trees at least, I don't think you need to really heal yourself whenever you're playing with a healer, for example. So that's why it's C tier. I would say it's maybe at the same level as Worgen, my bad. Or even worse than Worgen. Because it's like it's only useful for one class. And it's Paladin. The rest is like easily not useful to use because again you're going to get interrupted and that's it. We don't have a ratio anymore. So this is my tier list. You have a lot of S tier, A tier, and B tier, and then you have a lot of disappointing races. But then again, races should not be the only choice that you are making. The class is more important. I see it's already a 60 minutes video. My bad for being that long with my explanation. But really, I feel like if you want to be competitive, I would choose only classes between S and B tier. Everything beyond like C tier and D tier are not worth picking. So if you want to play human, I think it's the best. If you want to play orc, it's the best. If you want to play with a dispel on yourself, you can play the dwarf. And whenever you want a extra shadow melt to actually avoid the CC or avoid the damage, or you want a re-stealth, or you want to actually outplay people, you can play Night Elf. Or if you want to have extra CC, you just play Pandaren. And I think that's actually accurate. Those are the best ratios and race that you actually can play in this game. So thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate you. We will see each other very soon. And of course, follow the stream on Twitch. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that yet. Like the video if you like the video. And comment below what you think about the races. I feel you just need to remove all ratios. It doesn't matter. I feel like it doesn't give flavor at all in PvP. It just feels like you're actually playing versus races and classes instead of their players. It's actually very difficult to actually balance the classes. So please remove the ratios, so actually you don't have to deal with balancing on that aspect. So that's my opinion. Thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate you, and we will see each other very soon. Bye.